I'm going to get started because this week kicks off my birthday week. Today kicks off my birthday week. And instead of celebrating for one morning, I just want to celebrate for the 5 days. And so over the next 5 mornings, I'm going to have different women come on and join me for transformational conversations that I believe is going to position us for our next season. Every morning is going to be different. I know that each person that comes is going to bring a message that God has placed on their hearts. So my ears are open. Even today, when I was praying, I was like, Lord, I don't know what you're even going to say today, because every morning, one thing I realized that every morning carries its own revelation. Good morning, Stasia. Every morning carries its own revelation. Every instruction, every morning carries an instruction. It carries a revelation. It carries its own assignment. And, as I was praying this morning, the Lord gave me a revelation about mindset mornings. So before I go into today's conversation, He gave me a revelation that really changed how I see mindset mornings. Jesus taught, give us our daily bread. Not weekly bread, not monthly bread. And God showed me that mindset mornings is daily bread. That's what this platform is. It's not content. It's not a live broadcast. It's daily bread. Because every single morning, God gives what we need for the day. Because even me, every time I'm delivering, I'm listening to what God is saying to me. And I know I've heard preachers say this. They say this a lot, that before the word is preached, that word must be preached to the person that's giving it. And so, good morning, Sister Lillian. Every single morning, I realize that God is giving what we need today. And it made me think about it. Took me to the children of Israel in the wilderness. Every morning, there was fresh manna. Every morning, fresh manna. They were not allowed to store up yesterday's manna for tomorrow, because God wanted them to depend on Him daily. And I was like, wow. And that's what I realized about mindset mornings, because for over a year, every weekday, God has faithfully given daily bread, faithfully. And it's not because I'm clever. It's not because I'm better than anyone. And it's not because I have these endless ideas. I realize it is just the grace of God. And I can't get the revelation out quick enough. I haven't even got my systems are breaking. My structures are breaking, because I realize the level of stuff that I have. I probably have about 10 books right now just sitting as seeds inside of me, like 10 books. And it's only because of the grace of God. So every morning He's given fresh revelation, fresh wisdom, fresh instruction for the day. And the Lord showed me that if you miss a day, this is not marketing. This is not manipulation. Honestly, the Lord just showed me, if you miss a day, you could miss the very instruction that God has specifically prepared for you. Because I'm telling you, one word can reposition your life. One revelation can break a cycle. I have seen it in my own life. One instruction could be the key that unlocks your next season. So I would say to you, don't miss a morning this week. Let people know. I don't know. I am so looking forward to hearing what these women are going to bring, what God is saying in this season. This whole week, it's not even about my birthday. This whole week is, Lord, what are you saying? What are you saying? So I would say, come hungry this week. Come expectant. Come ready to receive your daily bread. So as I kick off this week, I kick off with obviously mindset. I don't know what the other ladies are going to bring. I've given everybody a theme, but who knows how God will use them and use them mightily. But today, what I'm going to, day one of the birthday week, these 5 transformational conversations, is the mindset that unlocks your next level. And I believe I'm going to share 5 mindset shifts And I believe that these 5 mindset shifts are what will position us for greater influence, greater impact, and increase. And I absolutely cannot wait to share them with you. So if you haven't shared this live, please, I will give you 10 seconds. Share the live. I'll give you 10 seconds to get your notepad and pens ready if you can, because I know some of you are getting ready for work. You may already be on your way to work, on your way somewhere. Put this on loudspeaker so the rest of your house can hear. 5 mindset shifts. And you know what's funny? One of the mindset shifts, I woke up this morning and all night, it's like the Holy Spirit was giving me something to say, but I can't remember exactly what the Holy Spirit was giving me to say. And I don't usually have dreams like this. So I know that this week, there's something about this week. There's something that's got nothing to do with my birthday. It's just, God has given me so many different revelations. So I just pray that you will not miss it. I pray that you will discern and you'll pick it up. Whatever it is that you need, you will pick it up. So I'm looking forward. I'm going to kick off now with Mindset Shift 1. So these are the 5 mindset shifts that unlock your next level. Mindset shift number 1. Mindset shift number 1. You must move from consumption to contribution. From consumption to contribution. You see, your value determines your impact. And so one of the scriptures God has really been ministering to me is Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1. Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you shall find it again. Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you shall find it again. One of the biggest mindset shifts that you will ever make is going from asking, what can I get, to what can I give? I'm telling you, it is one of the biggest mindset shifts that you can make. Stop asking, what can I get? What is this? Start asking, what can I give? Look to be given. The world is teaching us to pursue success by accumulating more money, more followers, more opportunities, more recognition. But the kingdom reveals something else, completely different. Increase does not begin with getting. It begins with what you release. What are you giving? And so where the enemy has us is that we think that what we have is not enough. So we go out there looking for what we already have inside of us. We go out there looking for permission, looking for approval. Can I do this? When what we have, this is not about being what's the word? This is not about being arrogant. This is about understanding what you carry must be released. Everything in creation, everything that God has ever created exists to contribute something. Everything. If you look inside your phones, there are minerals that are mined in Africa, which if they didn't get them in Africa, we wouldn't have the phones that we have. Things that were created from the foundations of the world, let alone us. The sun gives light. The trees give oxygen. Rivers give water. The earth produces seed. Nothing God created exists outside of itself. Then God created us. Not to talk of us. If creation exists for a purpose, then so do we. Then so do we. One of the greatest tragedies in life is to spend our life consuming. Just be consuming what other people have built. If you're on here today, I can tell you something. You have been called to contribute. Maybe this is your word, to begin to contribute. Stop consuming and begin. If you want to live a life of value, you want to live a life of impact, you want to live a life where you're going to be increasing financially, then you better move from consumption to contribution. There is no other way. So Ecclesiastes 11, for example, it doesn't begin with store your bread. Like the parable of the talents, the one that had one buried it. It doesn't say store your bread. It said cast your bread. Cast your bread. That immediately challenged our scarcity mindset. It said cast your bread. Bread, let me tell you what bread represents. Bread represents your resources. It represents your knowledge. It represents your gift. It represents your ideas, your wisdom, your experience, your service, your influence. Most people are protecting their bread. God says you must release it. The kingdom is built on contribution. Is built on contribution, not consumption. Good morning, Mother Antoinette. You don't become valuable because you have money. You become valuable because you solve somebody's problems. Money was just a byproduct of how many people's problems you have solved. Money just follows value. Why do we exchange money? We exchange money for cars. We exchange money for hair. We exchange money for houses. Why? Because what we are exchanging money for is for something that we value more than having the money in our bank. When you go to the shop and you buy a bottle of water, it's not the amount that the water costs. It's the fact that the water is more valuable to you than the cost of that water. That is it. If you catch this revelation, honestly, it can really change your life. Influence follows value. The people that you admire, do they come and speak nonsense? No. They're bringing something of value. That's why they have hundreds of followers, thousands of followers, tens of thousands of followers, or people that are watching their videos. Why? Because they are giving value. They are contributing to the success of somebody else's life. Opportunities follow value. We can get our priorities completely wrong. We can become so self-absorbed, so self-focused. We'll be praying to God, God, I want this, God, I want that. And God is like, but I've given you seed. I've given you seed. I've given you something. Are you nurturing? Are you cultivating that seed? Are you contributing what I have given you? You see, God is not coming to give you anything. He is not even preparing something for you. He's already put it inside of you. Your job now is to get into his presence so he can tell you how to unlock that seed. He can tell you what is going to cultivate that seed, what is going to nurture that seed. He can tell you what environment I require you to be in because of the seed that you carry. Mary understood this. When she was carrying Jesus, she knew she had to go and be in the environment with Elizabeth, because what she was carrying in the circumstances that she was carrying it, she would be ostracized. People would probably want to stone her, because how are you having a child with somebody that you haven't even had relations with? She had to shift environment. So influence follows value, opportunities follows value, increase follows value. Psychology confirms this. In psychology, consistently shows that people who adopt a contribution mindset, who focus on creating values for others rather than just for themselves, they build stronger trust, they deepen relationships, and they have greater long-term influence. That's why careers that compound are because that person has been known for solving meaningful problems, not just pursuing short-term gain. You see, what God showed me over the weekend is that we have two lenses. We have the fear lens and the faith lens. If you look at everything through the lens of faith, you will not see opportunity. You will not see contribution. You will be so focused on yourself. What can I do to preserve myself? What can I do to survive? What job can I get so I have money to pay my mortgage? You are looking at life through the fear lens and not the faith lens. People will remember you because you have improved their life. What happened with David? Who is in the household of Jonathan that I can give to? Why? Because he remembered how he was looked after. And that's how that person got the blessing. I want to contribute so much that the blessing it bypasses me and goes to my children's children, because I have blessed people so much. People remember those who improve their lives. If you're so focused on yourself, you are living a life of consumption and not contribution. And consumption does not bring value. Consumption does not bring money. All of the things that you are wanting will come from contribution. The marketplace rewards usefulness. The kingdom rewards faithfulness. Jesus demonstrated it. Jesus never chased influence. He served, he healed, he taught, he solved problems, because he was the greatest contributor in life that we have ever seen, that we will ever see. His influence is immeasurable. Why? Because he completely came to serve, completely came to contribute. In the kingdom, don't pursue influence. It is about service. It is about service. Influence is a byproduct. Impact is a byproduct. Money is a byproduct. God never asked for what he hasn't already given. So I'm just going to give you some revelations that God has given me. And I hope maybe this could be an instruction to somebody today. Maybe it can be something that is going to unlock your next level. Revelation 1, God never asked for what he has not already given. Ecclesiastes says, cast your bread. So that means you already have bread. He's not telling you to create bread. He says, cast your bread. That implication is profound. God has placed something in your hand. But most of us spend our lives praying for what God has already provided. Most of us spend our lives searching for what God has already provided. Moses had a rod. God said, use the rod. David had a sling. David used a sling. The widow had oil. God, it is a spiritual principle. God will tell you to use what you already have. You don't need to go and chase anything. You don't need to go and chase anything. I pray that this will be breakthrough for somebody today. You don't need to go and chase everything. When I stopped chasing and I just settled, my gosh, I realized that there is rivers flowing from me. Rivers, because I stopped chasing. There is nothing I need to chase. Nothing I need to chase. I was listening to Apostle Issy, and she said from 2020, God has accelerated her. And she said, you know what? I don't market. She said, I don't market. She said she doesn't know how her books are bestsellers, because she don't chase influence. She just, whatever she hears from God, she moves. If God gives her a revelation, she puts it in a book. If God gets, she said she has 4 rivers. This is for somebody. She has 4 rivers, like in the Garden of Eden. She has 4 rivers. She said, whatever God gives her, she'll turn it into a book. It will be a book. It will be a sermon. It will be a curriculum. And there was a 4th one that she says it will become. All of the rivers, what did they do? The Bible said the rivers went out and, watered the Garden of Eden. What are your rivers that are going out? What are your rivers that are going out? We need to think about that. What is going out? Because when God gives you something, because he's put something on the inside, it is for you to take it and use it. The boy had 5 loaves. What did God do? The disciples had boats. What did God do? The question is never, do you have enough? The question is, what are you doing with what you have already been given? Revelation number 2, bread was never designed to stay in your hands. Bread has 2 purposes. You're either going to eat it or you're going to sow it. If you eat your bread all day, you will satisfy yourself for today. If you sow some of your bread, you will create your tomorrow. Most people are consuming everything that God gives them. Builders, you must always reserve something for the future. This is why Ecclesiastes is the wealth chapter. It is the wealth chapter because he's teaching stewardship before prosperity. Everything you keep feeds you once. Everything you sow has the potential to feed generations. Everything you keep will feed you once. but everything you sow has the potential to feed generations, has the potential to multiply, and not just feed you for today, but to feed your children's children. We have to get out of this mindset of this, God just bless me, God, I'm helpless, God, I'm hopeless. No, we have to understand that we are operating in a kingdom. This is a government. This is about dominion. This is about influence. God has put something inside you to have dominion, to have influence. To have influence, we have to get out of this miry clay kind of mindset, this valley kind of mindset, and understand with your chest what God has given you. Revelation number 3, bread on water. This is really, really key. Looks like loss before it becomes harvest. Honestly, I pray that mindset mornings will disturb your theology. It will disturb what you have been thinking. It will disturb how you have been operating. It will be a divine pattern interrupt, because we have to understand the things in God look foolish. You will look foolish to normal people. If you truly begin to obey God, you will look foolish. If you truly begin, because this is probably my favorite revelation. Ecclesiastes doesn't say cast your bread onto fertile soil. It says cast it upon the waters. What happens if you put bread in water? Doesn't it just turn into mush? But it says cast your bread. Why is the Bible telling us to cast our bread on waters? From a natural perspective, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Bread thrown into water, it gets wasted. It disappears. You lose sight of it. You can't control it. You can't retrieve it. Yet that's what God says. Do you know why? Because he wants you to trust him. He said, cast it. You don't know where it's going to come from. You don't know when it's going to come back to you. Just cast it. I'm telling you today, this is for somebody. Many acts of obedience are going to look like loss. It's going to look like loss before it becomes multiplication. Faith, walking by faith, truly walking by faith, is going to look irresponsible. Yes, it's so. To people who only understand certainty. The kingdom asks you to release what the world will tell you to protect. It wants you to release. Number 4, contribution is an act of trust. People who refuse to contribute, it's not that the people are selfish, it's usually because people are afraid. If I give my idea, what's going to happen? If I help them, what's going to happen? What about me? If I share my knowledge, what about me? If I open my network, what about me? Do you know there are some people, I've heard this so many times, where, they will use a venue or they will have a source for production. They don't want to share it. Why? How can you be so small when we live in a world of abundance? Get rid of scarcity mentality. Get rid of lack mentality, thinking that you have to just hold on to everything. I'm telling you, the revelation that God gives me, it is free. He can give it to anybody. I don't have rights over this thing. I don't have rights over it. I give it freely. Fear. And God is teaching me about a fear lens and a faith lens. A fear lens is, let me hold on. Let me not give everything. Let me hold on to something. A faith lens, do you know what? There's more where this comes from. There's more where this comes from. I can give it freely because there's more. I am not restricted. There is a grace upon my life that I'm not restricted. I know when I enter into the presence of God, God will download. God will download and download and download. Fear says, if I release it, I will lose it. Faith says, if I release it, God, my God, he will multiply it. My God, he will multiply it. Contribution. Good morning, Papa. Contribution is evidence that you trust God's ability to replenish. God has had to deal with me regarding finances because I have been a person. Let me hold on to it. I don't know when money is going to come next. And God has said, let go, cast it. upon the waters because you don't know where it's going to come back. If you don't let go of it, I can't multiply it. If you don't let go of it, I can't bless it. If you don't let go of it, it can't be distributed. Let go so I can give you more. Let go so I can give you more. Let go because that is where your breakthrough is going to come from. Let go. So for some of you, there are things that you need to let go of. Contribute, give, let go, because you don't know when or where it's going to come back to you. Because God, that's why in Isaiah 54, my gosh, time is going. Isaiah 54, God says to the people, is this the fast that I have wanted? The fast that he wants is when you go and give to the poor. When you go and look after the widows. That's the fast. So when we hold on just for us, it's not what God is looking for. He's looking for those that will go and look after the widows, go and look after the poor, go and support, go and serve, go and give, because then God will bless you. Because there's no money in heaven. So he is looking for the ones that he can release his wealth to, who are going to use it according to his purposes. If you're just thinking about your car, your house, your money, your clothes, your hair, your nails, that's not who God is looking for. He's looking for the ones that are going to distribute and use what they have been given by proxy for him. So Revelation number 5, God measures what leaves your hand more than what remains in it. Luke 19, Matthew 25, the talents, the miners. God never asked, what did you keep? He asked, what did you do with what I gave you? For some of you, God is asking today, what have you done with what I gave you? God has asked me this question. What have you done with what I gave you? I had a text meeting with my content assistant. I had a meeting with her because it's like, what are we doing? The revelation that God gives us through Mindset Mornings is daily. It's daily. We can't hold on to it. We can't let it be lost in Instagram. We're going to have to give it, because there's more where that came from. And you know what we had to, and I realized that it was a cycle, and this may help somebody. It was a cycle. It was a cycle of delay. It was a cycle of perfectionism. It was a cycle of overthinking. And this morning I had to break it. It was a cycle. And what God was showing me, you're not stewarding what I gave you. You're not stewarding what I gave you. Release it, because there's more where that came from. That word, like this word for today, is for today. Tomorrow is another word. Tomorrow is another word. Release this word for today, because somebody needs this daily bread for today. And so what are you doing with what God has given you? That's stewardship. Heaven measures what you release. The world measures what you have accumulated. They will not call you successful until you can prove that you've got 100 grand in your bank account, until you can prove that you have followers and all of these things. The kingdom does not operate like that. I'd rather my name be known in heaven than it be known in the world. Let it be known. Let me release the daily bread that God gives me. Mindset Mornings is a table. This is a table that God has prepared, not for me, but for people to come and encounter him and receive his daily bread. So 3 ways you can become a contributor. Number 1, for some of you, it's just begin to solve problems. For some of you, it's solve bigger problems. Your impact and your income rise in a proportion to the problems that you have been equipped to solve. So don't ask, how do I make money? Ask, what problem can I solve better? Money is a byproduct. Money is a byproduct. Number 2, develop what God has placed within you. Every gift is a seed. Seeds only produce a harvest when they are cultivated and sown. If you keep a seed in its packet, there's nothing that can be done. It's not going to give anything. We are like that. We are the ones that carry seed. So stop comparing your gift, develop it, refine it, multiply it. Another thing that God showed me is in regards to strategy. You see, what God has given me, he's given me mindset mornings. God may not give you something to do daily. He's given me the grace to be able to do it. He's given me the grace to be able to know what to bring on a daily basis. You may not have that grace, so you may do it for 1 week. But do you have the grace to do it for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? So understand that based on the seed that you carry, there is a strategy for your seed. And so be careful of the strategies that you look at. You know, there's good ideas and there's God ideas. You see, a good idea is everywhere on YouTube. It's everywhere on TikTok. There are great ideas. But is that the one that will cultivate and nurture your seed? So you have to know what your seed is. And the best person to really tell you what environment you need for your seed, what food you need for your seed, is the Creator himself. This is such a big revelation. It's such a big revelation. And I hope somebody will catch it and understand. The strategy will be based on your seed. The strategy for your life or your impact, for your influence, is based on the seed that you carry. There's certain seeds that can't be planted in certain environments. They need sun all year round. But there's certain seeds that they can't be placed in the sun. I was talking to someone, the mum that I believe just knows everything, and I was saying to her, my plant is it looks like it's dying. What can I do to bring it back to life? And she said, well, move it away from the sun, because that particular plant doesn't like the sun. Soak it in water. She gave me a whole prescription for a plant, let alone she gave me a whole prescription which you would say is a strategy to bring this plant to life. Because she knew, I sent her a picture. She said, oh, it's this plant. I used to have it. This is what it requires. Let alone us. Let alone us. My gosh. Number 3, give before you expect to receive. This is the principle of sowing. Not only financially, with encouragement, with wisdom, with excellence, with generosity, with your time. People who add value rarely lack opportunities, because value is what will create demand. Your breakthrough is not waiting in what you don't have. It is hidden in what you will not release. You've got to release. Your next level is hidden in somebody else's problem. How did Richard Branson become is he a billionaire? I don't even know. Because he solved problems. He just solves problems. If you look at the richest people in the world, what have they done? They've solved big problems. That's what they've done. But we can be so focused on the wrong things. We can be so focused on the wrong things. Solve problems. Money is attracted to value. Influence is attracted to contribution. There is, and for those of you that want to be speakers or that are speakers, know what it is that you're bringing. Know the value that you are creating. Because anybody that is looking to hire a speaker is hiring you not because of your name. They're hiring you because you will make them look good in front of the people that they're bringing you to. So they're going to look to make sure that what you are saying and bringing into that room is going to have impact. Is going to add value. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for. So those of you that are speakers, you have to learn to put your voice out there. You're going to have to put your voice out there, but don't just put foolishness out there. Put stuff that carries the weight of what you want to bring. That people can see the value. Don't just speak nonsense. Speak things of value. These things of value. Increase is attracted to stewardship. Your gift is not there to impress. It is there to serve. It is there to serve. It is there to serve. We are not rewarded for our potential. We are rewarded for our contribution. So, and lastly, I will say on this, on mindset shift number 1, I cannot believe the time. It's like 7:10. You don't become influential by chasing influence. No. You become influential by becoming indispensable. Become indispensable. If a company is downsizing, do you think they are going to get rid of their most valuable players? No. The ones that are not valuable is who they will get rid of. Make yourself indispensable. Don't let it be that somebody can come and occupy your space when you're not there. If somebody can come and do what you can do, you have not made yourself indispensable. And I don't know if it's something that we even think about. If you're in business, is your business top of mind? When people think of a particular subject or problem, do you come to top of mind? If not, you have not made yourself indispensable yet. Make yourself indispensable. Shift number 2, you shift from comfort to capacity. Shift from comfort to capacity. Your next level requires a larger version of you. The key scripture is Isaiah 54. Enlarge the place of your tent. Luke 16 verse 10, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with very much. Ephesians 1:18, enlighten the eyes of my understanding. And 1 Peter 2:24, and I'm going to talk about this, by his wounds you were healed. One of the greatest misconceptions that we have is that increase is something that God gives. Increase is something that God prepares you to carry. Most people are spending their lives praying for more. God is spending his time preparing you for what he has already ordained for you. That's why I say God is not preparing something for you. It's already prepared for you. He is preparing you for it. He's preparing you for it. He's enlarging your capacity to receive, to be able to handle what he already has ordained for you. That's why the worst thing that we can do is go home to glory and then find out when we go home to glory all the things that God had. But because we didn't want to be obedient, because we didn't want to follow the instruction, because we didn't want to give, because we were so focused on our job and all the things, that we missed what God has already prepared. And so, as I say this all the time, we're praying for more, but God is preparing us to become more. We're asking God for bigger opportunities, but God is saying, are you ready to sustain what I have for you? God loves us too much to give us something based on our current mindset, our current character, our current capacity. Why? Because he will destroy us. Your next level is not about a bigger opportunity. Your next level requires a bigger you. So number 1, God will enlarge you before he will enlarge your life. We're waiting for God to open that door. We're waiting for that big break. We're waiting for someone to notice us. We're waiting for someone to say yes to us. But God never said, I will enlarge your tent. He says, enlarge your tent. It's an instruction. Enlarge your tent. Stretch, lengthen, strengthen. If you notice the order, preparation comes before possession. Capacity comes before increase. Stewardship comes before your promotion. Faith prepares you for what you cannot see yet. When I look at my life and I look back and I say, God, every time something major happens in my life, I look back and I see where God was preparing me. I see where I didn't listen. I see where I did listen and what happened. And I'm like, my God. Every single time, I'm like, I say this all the time. Honestly, this is my conversation with me and God. My gosh, Lord, I see now. So now I'm a bit more discerning. I'm really looking to see what instructions God is giving me, to see if I can decipher what he's preparing me for. Because I realize now everything Every instruction that he's given me is preparing me for something that I cannot see yet. He's preparing me. He's preparing me. Whatever God is saying to you now, it's preparation. Don't miss the rooms. Don't miss the instruction. Don't miss it, because it's preparation. It's preparation. There are so many testimonies that I have heard. And it's like God is preparing them for greater. God is preparing them. And because they were obedient and they listened to the instruction, it directed them. You know, another revelation that I got is not that God is opening doors. Some doors are already open. We just can't even see it. We can't see the open doors. We're too busy focused on the closed doors that we can't see the doors that are already open. Because there's doors in your life that are already open. But because you can't see it because you're focused on the wrong thing, you're missing these open doors. And this is the revelation that I got on my way to church, actually. The finished work of Christ means many doors are already open. Yesterday, the Lord reminded me of something profound. I was on my way to church. In the finished work of Christ, many of the doors we're praying for, they're already open. The greatest problem isn't the closed doors, it's closed eyes. Paul understood this. That's why in Ephesians, he didn't pray for God to open doors. He prays that the eyes of your understanding will be enlightened. He knew the issue wasn't God's willingness. It was our perception. The finished work has changed everything. Access is finished. Victory is finished. Authority is finished. Healing is finished. Freedom is finished. Righteousness is finished. The question is not, has God done it? The question is, can you see what he has already done? When Peter said, by his stripes you are healed, it's not you will be healed. It's not your healing is coming. It's not one day God is going to heal you. He says you are healed. You are healed. That's the language of finished work. What is your language? Faith is not trying to convince God to move. Faith is receiving what God has already accomplished through Christ Jesus. It's already done. It's already done. Number 3, fear doesn't close doors. It closes perception. And that is the plan of the enemy. One of the enemy's greatest strategies isn't stopping God's promises because he can't. It's stopping you from seeing them. Because what fear does is shrinks your vision. It magnifies impossibility. It blinds you to opportunity. It causes you to walk past doors that God has already opened. Faith doesn't create new opportunities. Faith is you recognizing them. So 2 people can stand before the same opportunity. One will see risk. The other will see possibility. The difference is not the opportunity. The difference is perception. What do you see? When God spoke to Jeremiah, what do you see? When Elisha spoke to his servant, he said, he prayed to God to open his servant's eyes so he could see beyond what he was seeing. He will see that who was with them was far outnumbered who had come for them. It is always perception. What are you seeing? If you only focus on your circumstances, you will walk past those open doors. If you only focus on your circumstances, you will completely walk past those open doors. Elisha's servant teaches us how capacity works. When Elisha and his servant were surrounded by the army, the servant panicked. That's many of us. All he could see was the enemy. That's many of us. Elisha didn't see that. He saw something different. He saw heaven's army. How did he see it? How did he see it? When he prayed, he didn't ask God to send angels because the angels were already there. He could see. He prayed that the Lord will open his servant's eyes. Provision already exists for you. The servant lacked capacity to perceive it. What has God already put in front of you, but you just can't perceive it? You see, in psychology, this is actually science. In psychology, the fear has a lens. And so because fear has a lens, it blocks you. And so that's why they say when you're don't be trying to figure things out. What happens is your brain begins to shrink when you're trying to figure things out. That's why the best moments are created when you're in your car, when you're in the shower, when you're relaxing. That's when you get your downloads. You cannot get downloads when you're operating from fear. From fear. So how many of us are praying, Lord, open the door, when God is saying the door is already open? Ask me to open your eyes. That right there, that one is for me. Because it's already there. There are prayers that we don't need to pray. We need to pray, God, open my eyes to see what you have already provided. Open my eyes to see who's in front of me. Open my eyes to see the open doors. Open my eyes to see what I carry. Open my eyes so I can see myself correctly. Open my eyes. Number 5, capacity changes what you can perceive. You know, a lot of people think, capacity is about doing more. Biblically, capacity begins with seeing differently. As your capacity grows, you will begin to see opportunities where other people will see obstacles. I can testify to this. As God is increasing my capacity, I see things that I never saw before. I see things that I never saw before. When your capacity increases, you begin to see provision where other people can see lack. You will see provision. You will begin to see purpose where other people are seeing problems. You begin to see God's finished work instead of your present circumstances. That's why we are instructed to renew our minds, because transformation will not happen when your circumstances change. No, transformation begins when your perception changes. You see, when perception changes, everything changes. Stop asking God to change your circumstances. Ask God to open your eyes. Ask God to renew your mind. Your circumstances will automatically begin to change. Stop asking God to change this and that. Ask God, change me. Open my eyes to see what you are doing. Open my eyes to see. Open my ears to hear. So, growth happens. Because I love psychology. I wanted to be a criminal psychologist. I love psychology. So that's why I bring psychology. And so psychology, performance psychology, shows us that growth happens beyond our current level of competence. Why? Because our brain wants to keep it in survival mode. It wants to stay in homeostasis. And that's why when you go to the gym, you have to build memory muscle. Every time you keep doing the same repetition, it is the same thing. It is the same thing. You have to move beyond your level of competence. No, you're not going to be confident at the beginning. No, you're not going to know what you are doing. But the repetition of that thing will make you a master of that thing. Your becoming, your breakthrough, all of that is on the other side of your comfort zone. You will never locate it in comfort. You can't. You grow through stretching. So doing the things you've never done before, being in environments you've never been before. Don't run away from these things. Your breakthrough is connected to these things. Every challenge. That's why women, we have this quiet power that I don't think we realize. Because the amount of things that we carry, the amount of things that we have to do, the amount of things is causing us. We can't, as a woman, I don't believe we can stay in our comfort zone. Every challenge, that pain that you've gone through, that challenge that you've gone through, it was not there for you to stay there. It was there to bring out the greatness in you. I realized that the pain I've been through was not to keep me there. It was to bring out. It was to reposition me. That's what happened with Joseph. The pain was to reposition him to his place of power. That pain that you're going through is not to stay there, not to keep talking about it, keep remunerating about it. It is there to reposition you into your place of power. If you listen to anybody of weight, they've come from pain. Pain births the greatest songs. It births the greatest ministries, the greatest businesses from something. So every challenge is there to expand you emotionally, intellectually, your spiritual capacity, provided you don't retreat from it. Provided you see it correctly, pain to purpose, pain to power. Your comfort zone will protect you where you are, but it will not produce your becoming. It cannot. So 3 ways to increase your capacity. Embrace stretching instead of resisting it. Every challenge is asking you one question: who must I become to carry what I'm praying for? Stop asking God to remove you from difficult seasons. So the seasons were not sent to break you. No matter what, the enemy can throw the kitchen sink at you. You've already won. You've already won. You already have the victory. You need to speak it. You need to walk in it. You need to do all these things in it. You already have the victory. The finished work of Christ means you already have the victory. You have. So whatever the enemy throws at you, my Bible says God will turn everything around for your good for those that love him. It's the pain of Job. What did God do? The pain of Job is sent to build you. The pain of Job. So 2, renew your mind until you begin to see differently. Most people aren't waiting on God. They're waiting for their perception to change. God wants to change your perception. Ask God to open your eyes. Ask him to help you to see the opportunities. Ask him to help you to see his finished work. Ask him to help you to see what fear has been masquerading, has been hiding. Because that's what fear does. It just blocks you like that. It blocks you so you can't see what's right. Have you ever heard the saying, "It's right, it was right under my nose"? That man was right under my nose. That opportunity was right under my nose, but I couldn't see it. There are things that are right under your nose. Ask God to open your eyes. And 3, allow God to prepare you before the opportunity arrives. Read before you need the knowledge. I remember before I ever spoke, I remember telling somebody in my church, while I was asleep, God would download sermons to me. I didn't know that I was ever going to preach. But I was like, this is weird. God will download these sermons to me. I didn't know I was ever going to preach. Read before you need the knowledge. Build before you have the audience. Develop before you're promoted. Become before you receive. That's the language of faith. Faith prepares you for tomorrow. Your next level is not a bigger opportunity. It needs a bigger you. It needs a bigger you. Preparation is your language. Preparation is the language of faith. Faith is not persuading God to move. Faith is seeing what God has already finished. Can I say that again? Faith is not persuading God to move. Faith is seeing what God has already finished. The finished work of Christ changes your position. Renewing your mind changes your perception about that position. Your perception determines your participation. You cannot possess what you cannot perceive. God isn't preparing your next level. He is preparing you for your next level. That's why he said he will send disciples. He will send teachers. He will send the people to equip you. That's why he said, I've sent the apostles, the pastors, the evangelists. It's escaped me. The teachers, the prophets. Why? To equip the body for the work of ministry. God is preparing. Who are they equipping? They're equipping you. They're equipping me for the work. God is preparing you for your next level. So you don't need to be praying at the bigger opportunities. When you're ready, you will walk through those doors with no problem. No problem whatsoever. No problem. So, shift 3. From reaction to vision. I've got like 2 minutes. I haven't even gone through all of them. Oh, and I thought, gosh, it's only 5. It's only 5. I can get through it in 1 hour. It's only 5. How long is it going to take for me to give 5 mindset shifts? I do think sometimes I do go off on a tangent, but I always pray, Lord, you use me. Whatever I have, whatever is supposed to be said, let it be said. So I think that's probably why I don't get through everything. I just allow God to have his way, you know, because I don't know who's going to come on. I never know who's going to come on. I never know who's going to come on. I don't expect the same people to come on every day. So for me, this is an honor. I am honored to be able to serve like this. Truly, truly honored that people would come on and listen to what I say. But now God has taken it further. It's not what you say, Patrice. It is what I give you to say. It's what I give you to say. So I'm giving as I hear it, as I see it. I will give it. So number 3, let me see how quickly I can get through this. So you shift, mindset shift number 3 is moving from reaction to vision. I kind of talked about this already. Your future is determined by what you can see. Write the vision and make it plain. What did God say to Abraham? As far as your eyes can see, I will give to you. Every life is moving. Every single person is moving in the direction of their dominant vision. What is the vision that is moving you? If you don't have a vision, I ask you and I urge you and I beseech you, Lord, what is the vision? What do you want me to see? What do you want me to build? What do you want me to contribute? Because your life is moving in the direction of that dominant vision. Nobody arrives at a destination by accident. They arrive because they are moving towards something every single day. Your future is not created by your circumstances. Your future is created by your vision. The greatest limitation is a lack of vision. And when you think of an architect, because I've gone to places, I've seen houses, for example, and the houses are like derelict, they're run down, but you go with an architect, you go with a builder, they see this house, and I'm like, but I can't see it. Because that house, they have seen it in their mind first. They know where every room is going to be. They know where every door is going to be. They know what the kitchen is going to look like. That is what God is requiring of us, to see it in your mind first, and then you can begin to create it. So you see that business, you see that company, you see the people that you're going to employ, you see the ministry, and then what do? You write it down. Write it down. Write it down. You cannot walk towards a future you cannot see. God will show you before he will give to you. God will reveal before he will release. Lift up your eyes, Abraham. As far as you can see, I will give to you. His possession followed his perception. Vision comes before manifestation. God never started with the land. He started with Abraham's sight. And the same with the 12 spies, with Caleb and Joshua. They saw something else that the 10 spies didn't see. The 10 spies saw their inadequacy. Caleb and Joshua, as the Bible says, they had another spirit. They saw how big their God is. When you make God small and your problem big, you have a perception problem. When you make God small and the problem bigger than God, you have a perception problem. Vision creates direction. Every decision you make is governed by what you see. If you see yourself as defeated, you will live defeated. If you see yourself as insignificant, you will shrink. If you see yourself as a builder, you will begin to build. I'm a kingdom builder. I'm a kingdom strategist. What are you? If you see yourself as a leader, I'm a kingdom leader. You will lead. The life you experience is first constructed in your mind. We can't live beyond the picture we have, that we are carrying within. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the final revelation, fear will give you a false vision. This is what God was breaking off of me. Fear is not just anxiety. it produces distorted vision. And I was listening to a psychologist about this. Fear will magnify obstacles. Fear will magnify, it will make things look like it is impossible. I was sharing this yesterday. I was speaking to a mum and we were talking about schools, and there was a particular school that I want my daughter to go to, which is out of the catchment area. And she said, oh no, we will never get in. We don't live close enough. In my spirit, I'm like, you don't know my God. You don't know what my God can do. Because I remember they said that about my first daughter. It was a particular school. They said she's not going to get in because she didn't have A, B, C, D. Did we not get in? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Because I serve a God that is bigger than every problem, every situation. Where is your faith? Faith will magnify possibilities. There is nothing too hard for God. He even said himself, is there anything too hard for me? Faith will magnify possibilities. Don't let somebody talk you out of something that God can do. Don't allow it. Fear, and some of us are wearing fear spectacles. We are looking at everything through the spectacles of fear. These spectacles are not putting things into perspective. They're putting things out of focus. Fear will show you everything that can go wrong. Faith will show you everything that God has spoken, that is finished. Fear, the battle is never between faith and facts. The battle is between your vision. What do you see? That's why I love when God spoke to Jeremiah. What do you see, Jeremiah? And what did God say? You have seen well. So that tells me we can see incorrectly. We can see incorrectly. Oh, there's so much I want to share, but time has gone. Oh, there's so much I want to share, but time has gone. And so that even takes me to the fact that what God gives me, I need the different rivers. I need the different outputs. If I only have mindset mornings, I will never be able to really give all that God gives to me. It's for me to enlarge my tent. Can you see how it works? It's for me to enlarge my tent. It's not that God hasn't provided. God has provided to overflow. He has provided to overflow. Trust me, there is abundance in your life. He has provided to overflow. The thing is, have you created a system and a structure to be able to steward the overflow? The tap is running. Yeah, I have to. I have to put them in books. I have to, because otherwise, it's like the daily bread is going to waste. It's just going to waste. But I hope you have been blessed. We've at least gone through 2.5 mindset shifts. I'll probably share them after this birthday week. I'll share the rest probably next week because they're really quite key. So this is birthday week. It's my birthday on Friday. Please set your alarm. Don't miss this week. Tomorrow we have Dr. Temi Tope. She is the fashion designer, multi-award woman, but she is a powerhouse woman of God. She carries something. She carries a kingdom blueprint for business. Don't miss her tomorrow. Don't miss her tomorrow. Last time, people didn't want to come off the live. They didn't want to come off the live. They wanted to hear. We was on the live, I think, till 8 o'clock because they wanted to hear. So we're going to hear a fresh word tomorrow that I know is going to bless you. So set your alarm, invite someone. If you see the reel going forth, please like, share, comment, most importantly, and come expecting daily bread. This morning, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It has gone so fast. I'm actually disappointed that it's ended. I'm actually disappointed. But we keep it moving. Because there's so much revelation that God has given me, and I just want to share it. But anyway, we move on. Tomorrow, fresh bread. Tomorrow, I don't know what Dr. Temi Tope is going to bring tomorrow. Come ready. Come clear your notebook. Come ready. for fresh bread tomorrow. So have a fantastic day. You too, Mama Antoinette. You too, Sister Lillian. Stay blessed, and I will see you